Fly, did I ever tell you about the time I was on the airplane flying from Houston to Philadelphia?
No.
And we had just graduated. It was pre 9/11. No, it was post 9/11. Believe it or not, surprisingly. Dude in front of me, I'm like a big puss when it comes to flying, man. Like I don't like to fly. I like to be in control. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, I don't like
So
that.
I politely asked the guy in front of me if he wouldn't mind if during takeoff and landing, if he would just close his window, just pull the shutter down, just so I couldn't see out of it. I'm trying to close my eyes. I'm just gonna put my head down, but I'm freaking out and I'm trying not to have a panic attack. And if you could just do that for me, I'd appreciate it.
That's the best
Um,
part of the flight is seeing the takeoff.
I understand that, but he wasn't
That's
sitting
just
against the
somebody who
window.
flies every day.
He wasn't sitting in the window. He was doing his work. He had his headphones on. He was on his computer, and he was sitting in the middle seat.
Oh,
So
so you're like, do you mind if I close
he
this?
ignored
This
me.
window belongs to neither you or me. This window is in neutral territory.
Nah, he
Neutral
probably had
territory.
He probably had the whole roll.
He-
All
he
you had
might
to
have.
do, he didn't-
Yeah,
he
no,
didn't
no,
have
He's a
you
to-
businessman.
No, he
He's a
didn't have the whole
businessman.
roll. Nobody was sitting there. He could have just been like, "All right, cool. I'd have just told you, yeah, it's all good. Here you go." Boom.
Yeah, I would have no problem. With
I was
that.
super nice, super nice, and I came off as not aggressive at all. And I was like, "Hey, man, I'm sorry. I'm just a big puss. Blah blah blah." Dude says nothing. Doesn't say a word. So I'm like, okay, maybe he didn't hear me. I'm gonna wait and see what happens if we start taxiing around. You know. So the engine's fire. Everything's fired up, and we're disembarking from that little corridor that you walk through. And so I said, "Hey, bud, I don't know if you heard me earlier, but I was wondering if there's any chance I can get you to close this window during takeoff." He said, "Yeah, I heard you."
Oh shit.
And I was like, and that was it. Huh. And I sunk back in my chair, and my wife looked at me. She was like, "What's wrong?" I was like, "Well, I asked this guy if he would close his window, because I told him it bothered me. If we could just do it real quick, just for a few minutes, while we were taking off." And I didn't think he heard me, so I asked him again, and his only response was, "Yeah, I heard you." She was like, "Oh, wow." So we
That's
start
some
moving.
American shit. That wouldn't happen up here.
Right. We start moving, right?
That's not American shit. That's
And
dickhead
so-
shit because that happens in other countries. I've
so-
dealt with foreigners.
I'm aggravated now, right? Because now I'm being disrespected. It went
Yeah, he's looking at you
from
as
being ignored
dog shit.
to disrespectful, right? So, I get up close to him in his ear. I said, "I'm
Who the
going
fuck
to
was that?
bust
Who's
the
got her
shit."
dumb?
Stu's friend.
I said, "I'm gonna bust the shit out of your seat
Oh.
the entire
shit.
flight if you don't close that window right now."
Oh.
And he didn't close it, and so I went to fucking town on the back of his headrest.
Oh my
Boom, boom,
God,
boom.
dude.
Now, I wasn't good at football. I was just okay, just average, good enough to get a JUCO ride, but that's it.
Not bad.
But I did do one thing that was really good, and that was pass blocking, and that's like quick, powerful thrust, like 6-inch punches, So I'm sitting there busting the fuck. Now my wife has her head in her hands.
Yeah, she doesn't
She's
like
refusing to look at me. She's super embarrassed.
This. Oh yeah.
This takes about like 30 seconds of this over and over, and dude reaches over and closes the window, and I stop.
Wow.
And that's it. Instantly, as soon as he reaches for it, I stop, and that was it. End of the conversation. We never talked
Hey, you
again
did that
until
on a
we
plane?
Wow.
on the plane. And
What
after
airline
9
was this?
Southwest.
Oh my god. Nigga, I'll fight you. I'd be like, yo,
Hold
nigga,
on.
we fight. But
We
I
ain't
wouldn't have done that. Like,
We ain't done.
Story's not done?
We're not done.
Oh my god.
So, all right.
who's
so-
watching this crazy
yeah.
video in the background?
Yeah, Stu, is that you?
Yeah, you gotta kill that
What the
background
hell are
noise,
you
bro.
watching? Are you watching pigs being slaughtered?
Jesus. So, you're not even in the room with us? Oh, yeah, you are. Y'all want to run it right now? You're ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
Stu, you ready? Fly?
Yeah.
Okay, so I feel disrespected, and I don't feel like we're even.
Oh no. You're drunk with power, dude.
Perhaps.
You're drunk.
So, it's about time to land. And, So I lean up there and I say, "What do we think about that window this time?"
Oh.
And he doesn't say anything. I said, "Well, here we go." And so I hit it one time and he reaches over and closes it. I was like, "That's cool. That's cool." So you know we have our overhead bags, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's sitting right over me, so we're sharing the same overhead. So we got to get our bags afterwards.
Oh yeah.
And
A little bit of interaction.
I reach up there. I get out and I reach up there. I grab my bag and I pull it out. And normally I would be aware of who was next to me to my left, you know, and be polite about it. Nah, I knew it was this guy. Zero fucks. Hit him in the head with my little bag that I had in the overhead.
Oh my god.
Pulled it out, yanked it out, hit him in the head. And then just started. And okay, so I felt like he disrespected me, so I was going to let him know that I wasn't the guy to be disrespected, so I was going to make him feel about as tiny as possible. So I started getting loud with him as we started disembarking. I was like, if you got something to say about that, you can meet me outside.
Oh my god.
We don't even have to go to luggage. We don't have to get anything else. You go right outside. Get right off this property. We can have a conversation about everything that went down on this flight. I was livid, bro. Livid.
Oh my god.
Ready to fucking pounce. And my wife was begging me to stop the whole time, and I'm fucking just. And back then I had a lot more muscle, I guess, than I do now, because I worked out every day. I was in better shape. I would have just fucking murdered this dude.
Oh, dude, I've been in fights.